Picture a lighthouse, solitary and unyielding, standing firm against a raging storm. The waves crash with merciless fury. The wind howls like a beast unleashed. Yet the lighthouse remains, its beam cutting through the chaos, a silent promise of safety. This is you, right now, in the heart of your own tempest. Life hurls its storms at you, biting words, crushing doubts, and burdens that threaten to pull you under. You feel the chaos within and without, emotions swirling like dark waters, external pressures pounding like relentless gales. But here's the truth. You can stand as that lighthouse. You can act as if nothing bothers you, not because you're immune to pain, but because you choose to anchor yourself deeper than the storm can reach. In this moment, let's face the turmoil together. Let's uncover how to endure, how to shine, even when the world around you rages. Are you ready to stand tall, to be the light others seek in their darkness? Imagine yourself as a young professional, stepping into a sleek conference room, your heart pounding with anticipation. You've poured weeks into a project, every detail polished to perfection. This is your moment to shine. But as you present, your manager's face hardens. The critique comes like a sudden squall, sharp, unrelenting. This isn't up to standard. Did you even think this through? The words sting like salt in a wound. Your colleagues shift uncomfortably, their silence louder than any storm. Inside, doubt surges like a tidal wave. Are you a fraud? Do you even belong here? Your palms sweat, your voice trembles, but the meeting moves on, leaving you battered on the shore of your own insecurities. Hours later, alone at your desk, the storm still rages within. You replay the criticism, each word a jagged rock eroding your confidence. You want to lash out, to defend yourself, to prove you're not a failure. But then, you pause. You remember the lighthouse, standing firm, not fighting the waves, but enduring them. What if you acted as if nothing bothered you? Not out of arrogance, but out of resolve. You take a breath, deep and steady, like the lighthouse drawing strength from its foundation. You jot down the feedback, not as a verdict of your worth, but as a map to improve. You choose to stand, to let the storm pass, knowing it cannot extinguish your inner light. The lesson here is clear. Storms of criticism will come, fierce and uninvited. They'll test your resolve, make you question your very core. But like the lighthouse, you don't need to silence the storm. You need only to endure it. Act as if nothing bothers you, not by ignoring the pain, but by refusing to let it define you. Your strength isn't in avoiding the waves, it's in standing through them, unshaken, until the skies clear. Now, see yourself as a parent, the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's a gray morning, and you're juggling 1,000 tasks, breakfast for the kids, a looming deadline, and a heart heavy with personal grief. Perhaps you've lost someone dear, or a dream you held close has slipped away. The pain is a quiet storm, brewing beneath the surface, but you can't let it show. Your children look to you for stability, their small hands tugging at your sleeve, their questions endless. Why are you sad, Mommy? Daddy, are you okay? You force a smile, but inside, the waves crash harder. Bills pile up, responsibilities loom like thunderheads, and your own sorrow threatens to drown you. One evening, after a long day, you snap. A spilled glass of juice becomes the breaking point, and your voice rises sharper than you intend. The room falls silent, your child's eyes wide with confusion. Guilt surges like a rogue wave, pulling you under. You feel like a failure, unable to shield your family from your own storm. But then, you stop, you kneel down, apologize, and pull your child close. You think of the lighthouse, its beams steady even as the tempest rages. You decide to act as if nothing bothers you, not to hide your pain, but to protect the light you offer others. You breathe, slow and deliberate, and focus on the moment, on love, on presence. The storm within doesn't vanish, but you stand above it, a beacon for those who need you most. The takeaway echoes again. The chaos of life, both within and without, will test you. Personal grief and external demands will collide, threatening to shatter your calm. But like the lighthouse, your power lies in endurance. Act as if nothing bothers you, not by denying your struggles, but by rising above them, ensuring your light shines for others even when you're battered by the storm. Let's step back and look at the storms we face. What is this chaos, this relentless barrage of emotions and pressures that test your resolve? It's the raw, untamed force of life itself, a tempest of doubt, fear, and expectation that surges without warning. One moment, you're sailing smooth waters. The next, you're caught in a maelstrom of criticism, loss, or uncertainty. Inside, your heart races like a river in flood, emotions crashing against the walls of your mind. Outside, the world demands your strength, deadlines, judgments, responsibilities piling like storm clouds on the horizon. Why does it feel so personal? Why does every wave seem to target the very core of who you are? Think of the lighthouse. It doesn't choose the storm, nor can it stop the waves from coming. Yet it stands, rooted in stone, its purpose unshaken by the chaos around it. So too must you stand. The chaos isn't your enemy, it's the crucible where your strength is forged. Every sting of doubt, every weight of pressure, is a gust of wind testing the depth of your foundation. You don't need to fight the storm, you need to outlast it. Act as if nothing bothers you, not because you're untouched, but because you've anchored yourself in something deeper. Your resolve, your purpose, your unyielding will to shine. Have you ever considered how much stronger you've grown after each storm? How many times have you risen, not despite the chaos, but because of it? Now let's dig deeper into this storm within and without. You often believe you can control the chaos, silence the doubts, manage the pressures, predict the next wave. But life laughs at such illusions. Emotions swell like an ocean tide, defying your command. External forces, words, events, expectations strike like lightning, unpredictable and fierce. You scramble to build walls, to shield yourself from the hurt, but the storm seeps through every crack. So why do you cling to control when the winds howl beyond your grasp? What if the true power lies not in mastering the storm, but in mastering yourself within it? Return to the lighthouse. It doesn't tame the sea or hush the gale. It simply exists, unwavering, its beam a quiet defiance against the dark. This is your call. Act as if nothing bothers you by releasing the need to control what you cannot. Let the storm rage, let the emotions churn, let the pressures mount. Your task isn't to stop them, it's to stand firm, to keep your light burning no matter the fury around you. Imagine yourself as a mountain, carved by eons of wind and rain, yet standing taller for every scar. The chaos shapes you, but it does not break you. When was the last time you let go of the fight and simply stood, unshaken, in the eye of your own tempest? When the storm of emotions and pressures hits, your first instinct might be to react, to lash out, to crumble, or to flee. But here's a step to stand like the lighthouse. Anchor yourself in the moment. Pause, take one slow, deliberate breath, as if drawing strength from the earth itself. Feel your feet on the ground, your heartbeat steadying like the rhythm of waves against stone. Ask yourself, what can I control right now? Not the criticism, not the grief, not the demands, but your response. Write down one action you can take, no matter how small. Maybe it's a kind word to yourself, a quick walk to clear your mind, or a single task to reclaim your focus. This isn't about ignoring the chaos. It's about refusing to let it sweep you away. When doubt or pain surges, anchor again, breathe again, choose again. Each moment you stand firm builds the foundation deeper. You're not just surviving the storm, You're becoming the lighthouse others look to for guidance. Practice this daily, even in calm waters. So when the tempest strikes, your resolve is ironclad. Act as if nothing bothers you by rooting yourself in the now, unshaken by what swirls beyond your reach. Another tool to weather the storm is to reframe the waves crashing against you. When criticism stings or burdens weigh heavy, don't see them as attacks. See them as teachers. Take a moment to step back. Grab a notebook or simply close your eyes. Ask, what can I learn from this chaos? If it's harsh feedback at work, list one way it can sharpen your skills. If it's personal grief clashing with daily demands, acknowledge the pain, then name one strength it's revealing in you. Patience, resilience, love. This reframing shifts the storm's power. It's no longer a force to break you. It's a current to shape you. Like the lighthouse, weathered by gales yet standing prouder. You grow through the chaos. Make this a habit. After every rough day, reflect for 5 minutes. Turn the waves into wisdom. Act as if nothing bothers you by choosing to see the storm not as a threat, but as the raw material of your growth. You're not just enduring, you're evolving. As we close this journey through the storm within and without, remember the chaos you faced, the emotions that churn like dark waters, the pressures that strike like unrelenting winds. You've seen yourself in the young professional, battered by criticism, yet choosing to stand. You've felt the parent struggle, balancing grief and duty, yet shining for those who depend on you. The key lesson remains: acting as if nothing bothers you isn't about denying the storm. It's about enduring it with unshakable resolve. Like the lighthouse, your power lies not in stopping the tempest, but in standing firm, your light piercing even the fiercest dark. We've only begun to explore this path. A headwind will uncover how to build that inner foundation, how to strengthen your beam so no gale can dim it. For now, hold this truth close. You are stronger than the chaos. You are the lighthouse rooted deeper than any storm can reach. Let this mantra guide you through every wave, every doubt, every test. Stand firm. Your light outlasts the storm. Picture a blacksmith's forge, the air thick with heat and the scent of molten iron. Sparks fly as the hammer strikes, each blow shaping raw steel into something unbreakable. That steel is you. Life's fires, criticism, failure, chaos, rage around you, threatening to melt your resolve. But what if you could stand in the inferno and not flinch? What if you could act as if nothing bothers you, turning every scorching trial into strength? Welcome to the art of forging unshakable calm. In this crucible, you'll learn the mindset and tools to remain unaffected by turmoil, to wield your inner power like a master smith tempers steel. You're not here to cower from the flames. You're here to thrive in them. Let's step into the heat together and shape a version of you that no storm can shatter. Imagine yourself as an athlete, standing on the edge of a roaring stadium. The crowd's cheers are drowned out by the taunts of your competitors. You're not fast enough. One sneers. You'll choke again. Another jabs. Your heart races, not from the race ahead, but from the weight of their words. Every insult feels like a stone hurled at your spirit, tempting you to lash out or shrink away. But you don't. You stand taller. You breathe deeper. You act as if nothing bothers you. Instead of letting their venom seep into your soul, you channel the frustration into fuel. Each taunt becomes a spark in your forge. You head to the training ground after hours, when the stadium is silent, and push your body beyond its limits. Sweat stings your eyes, muscles scream, but you don't stop. You visualize the race, your strides cutting through their doubts like a blade through fog. Day after day, you temper your focus in the fire of their scorn. When the race day comes, their words are nothing but echoes. You cross the finish line, not just ahead of them, but ahead of the chaos they tried to plant in you. The lesson here is raw and clear. Turmoil is not your enemy. It's your anvil. Like a blacksmith striking steel, you must use the heat of adversity to shape your strength. Their taunts were never about you. They were distractions, By acting as if nothing bothered you, you forged a calm that outlasted their noise. You didn't react, you refined. And in that choice, you found victory. Now see yourself as a student, hunched over a desk littered with failed exam papers. Red marks slashed through your answers like wounds, each one whispering, "You're not enough." You've taken this test 3 times, and 3 times you've fallen short. Friends move ahead. Classmates whisper pity, and doubt creeps in like rust on iron. The urge to give up is a heavy hammer, ready to smash your resolve. But you pause. You breathe. You act as if nothing bothers you. Instead of drowning in despair, you pick up the papers and dissect each mistake. You map out where your understanding faltered, not with shame, but with the precision of a blacksmith inspecting raw metal. You spend nights rewriting notes, seeking help, and testing yourself again and again. The failures don't define you, they temper you. Each wrong answer becomes a lesson, each setback a strike that hardens your resolve. When the next exam comes, you walk in not with fear, but with quiet steel in your spine. The result isn't just a passing grade, it's the unshakable calm you forged through relentless effort. The takeaway burns bright. Failure isn't a verdict, it's a forge. By acting as if nothing bothers you, by refusing to let setbacks shatter your spirit, you transform pain into power, like steel shaped in fire. Your calm is born from persistence. You didn't crumble, you created. And that creation is a mindset no failure can touch. Let's step back and look at the flames surrounding you. Life is a relentless forge, isn't it? Every day, challenges flare up. Harsh words, unexpected obstacles, personal doubts, they burn hot, threatening to warp your spirit or melt your dreams. But what if the fire isn't here to destroy you? What if it's here to define you? A blacksmith doesn't fear the heat, they wield it. They know that without fire, steel remains weak, unshaped, useless. So too must you embrace the turmoil, not as a burden, but as a tool. Think about the moments when you felt overwhelmed. How often have you let the heat of the moment dictate your actions? How many times have you reacted instead of responded, letting the flames of frustration consume your peace? The truth is, unshakable calm isn't the absence of fire. It's the mastery of it. When you act as if nothing bothers you, you're not ignoring the blaze. You're standing in it, hammer in hand, shaping your future with every strike. The taunts, the failures, the chaos, they're not your ruin. They're the raw material of your transformation. So stand firm. Let the heat rage. You are not a victim of the forge. You are its master. Consider a river cutting through a mountain. It doesn't rage or rush with fury. It flows with quiet persistence, carving stone over centuries. That's the essence of unshakable calm, a strength so deep it doesn't need to shout. When you act as if nothing bothers you, you're not pretending to be unaffected. You're choosing stillness over storm, clarity over chaos. You're becoming the river, not the tempest. Have you ever noticed how the loudest voices often hide the weakest wills? Those who react to every slight, who crumble under every weight, are like brittle iron snapping at the first test. But you, when you stand unmoved, become something else entirely, like steel tempered in a blacksmith's fire. Your calm is a quiet force, forged through deliberate choice. The world may roar around you, let it. Taunts may sting, failures may scar. Let them. Your power lies in refusing to be swayed, in holding your ground while the inferno rages. Ask yourself, what would shift in your life if you became the mountain, unyielding to every wind? The answer is everything. Calm isn't weakness, it's the ultimate strength. When turmoil strikes, and your first instinct might be to react, to argue, to retreat, to despair. But here's a tool to forge your calm: the pause. Before you speak, before you act, stop. Take one deep breath, then another. In that space, ask yourself, does this deserve my energy? Like a blacksmith surveying the steel before the hammer falls, You must assess the moment. Not every spark needs your attention. Not every flame needs to be fought. Write down this question on a card and keep it close. Will this matter in a week? When taunts or setbacks hit, pull it out. Read it. Let it ground you. If the answer is no, let the noise pass through you like smoke. If the answer is yes, channel the heat into action. Solve, strategize, grow. This pause isn't inaction, it's precision. It's the difference between a wild swing and a masterful strike. Practice this daily. Over time, you'll find the flames of turmoil lose their power to unsettle you. You'll stand in the forge, unshaken, ready to shape your path. Unshakable calm isn't a gift, it's a skill, honed through repetition. Build a daily ritual to temper your mind against chaos. Start with 5 minutes each morning. Sit in silence, eyes closed, and visualize the day ahead. Picture the challenges, harsh words, obstacles, doubts as flames in your forge. See yourself standing firm, hammer in hand, turning each one into strength. Speak to yourself. I choose calm. I shape my response. Nothing breaks me. Then write down one intention for the day. Today, I will not react to criticism. I will reflect. Keep this note visible. When turmoil hits, glance at it. Let it anchor you. At day's end, journal one moment where you acted as if nothing bothered you. Even if it's small, a sharp comment you let slide, a frustration you redirected, it's a victory. This ritual, repeated daily, is your bellows, fanning the fire of your resolve. Over weeks, you'll notice the heat of life doesn't scald as it once did. You'll become the steel, hardened and whole. You've walked through the forge with me, felt the heat of turmoil, and learned to wield it. Unshakable calm isn't about ignoring life's fires. It's about mastering them. From the athlete who turned taunts into triumphs, to the student who shaped failure into fuel. You've seen how acting as if nothing bothers you transforms chaos into creation. The philosophical truths we've uncovered, fire as a tool, stillness as strength, remind you that you're not at the mercy of the flames. With practical steps like the pause and the ritual of refinement, you now hold the hammer to shape your calm. The key lesson burns bright. Part. Take away. Carry this into the next stretch of your journey. The forge awaits, but so does your power. Let's move forward, ready to face greater fires, knowing each one only makes us stronger. Stand in the fire, forge your calm, shape your steel. Picture a river, relentless and unyielding, carving its path through the rugged earth. It does not pause at the sight of a boulder, nor does it rage against the jagged cliffs that stand in its way. It flows around, over, through, finding its course with a quiet, unshakable resolve. You too stand at the edge of your own journey, facing obstacles that loom like mountains in your path. How will you move forward when the current of life pulls against you? In this moment, the art of acting as if nothing bothers you becomes your greatest strength. It's not about ignoring the rocks in your stream. It's about learning to flow past them with grace and grit. Welcome to a chapter of transformation, where you'll forge strategies to adapt, to endure, and to press on without being derailed by setbacks. Feel the current of possibility within you. Are you ready to become the river that cannot be stopped? Imagine you've poured your heart into a small business, a cozy bakery nestled on a quiet street corner. Every morning, the scent of fresh bread fills the air, and every evening, you tally the day's modest earnings with pride. This is your creation, your livelihood. Then, without warning, a financial storm hits. A key supplier doubles their prices overnight, and a burst pipe floods your kitchen, shutting you down for weeks. The numbers in your ledger turn red, and the weight of uncertainty presses down like a stone on your chest. Most would panic, lash out at fate, or collapse under the burden, but not you. You act as if nothing bothers you. You breathe, you assess, you flow. Instead of drowning in despair, You sit at your scarred wooden table with a notebook and a pen. You brainstorm. What can you control? A new supplier, perhaps, or a temporary shift to online orders while repairs are made. You pivot, not with frantic energy, but with the steady rhythm of a river finding a new path. You post on social media, offering pre-orders for delivery, and reach out to local farmers for affordable ingredients. Slowly, the current of your business begins to move again. Customers return, touched by your resilience, and word spreads. Within months, you've not only recovered, but expanded your reach beyond the street corner. The lesson gleams like sunlight on water. Setbacks are not walls, they are bends in your stream. When you act as if nothing bothers you, you don't fight the obstacle. You glide around it, finding strength in adaptation. Now picture yourself as a writer, hunched over a desk littered with crumpled drafts, your soul poured into every word. You've spent years crafting a novel, a story that burns within you like a hidden flame. With trembling hands, you send it to publishers, dreaming of seeing your name on a bookshelf. Days turn to weeks, and the first rejection letter arrives. Then another, and another. Each one stings, a sharp rock in your stream, threatening to halt your flow. Not the right fit, they say. Lacks commercial appeal. The voices of doubt creep in, whispering that you're not enough, that your words will never matter, but you refuse to be derailed. You act as if nothing bothers you. You set the letters aside, not with anger, but with a nod of acknowledgement. You keep writing. Every morning, you rise before the sun, your pen moving across the page like a river tracing its course. You submit again, to new publishers, to contests, to anyone who might listen. You refine your craft, reading feedback not as failure, but as a map to improvement. Months pass, and the rejections pile up, but so do your pages. Then, one day, an email arrives, an acceptance. A small press wants your story. It's not a bestseller, not yet, but it's a start. The rocks of rejection didn't stop you. They shaped your path, teaching you patience, persistence, and the power of quiet determination. Like a river, you flowed past the obstacles, and in doing so, you carved a deeper channel for your dreams. The takeaway shines clear. When you act as if nothing bothers you, every no becomes a stepping stone to yes. Let's pause and consider the river, that ancient teacher of resilience. It does not argue with the landscape. It does not curse the stones that block its way. It adapts, weaving through valleys and over falls. Its strength not in resistance, but in persistence. So too, must you learn to flow past the obstacles in your life. How often have you been halted by a single setback, as if it were the end of your story? How many times have you let a harsh word or a closed door define your worth? The truth is, obstacles are not your enemy. They are your instructors. They test your resolve, sharpen your focus, and force you to find new ways forward. Acting as if nothing bothers you is not about pretending pain doesn't exist. It's about refusing to let it anchor you in place. Think of life as a current, ever moving, ever changing. When a boulder of failure or fear appears, you have a choice: rage against it and exhaust yourself, or step back, breathe, and find the path around. The river doesn't stop for a fallen tree. It splits, it trickles, it rejoins on the other side. So must you. Whether it's a lost job, a broken relationship, or a dream deferred, your power lies in adaptation. You are not a stone, fixed and unyielding. You are water, fluid and unstoppable. Let setbacks shape you, not shatter you. Let them teach you the art of flowing forward, no matter the terrain. Now imagine yourself not just as a river, but as steel in a blacksmith's forge. Every setback, every obstacle is a hammer strike, painful in the moment, but necessary for your transformation. When you act as if nothing bothers you, you don't flinch at the heat, you embrace it. knowing it's molding you into something stronger. Have you ever considered that the very challenges you dread are the ones forging your greatest victories? Why do we fear the struggle when it's the struggle that builds us? Life's obstacles are not random cruelties. They are the raw materials of your growth. A financial loss strips away complacency, forcing you to innovate. A rejection hones your craft, teaching you to refine what's weak. A personal failure reveals where you must rebuild. When you flow past these challenges with calm determination, you mirror the river's quiet power, unseen beneath the surface, yet capable of carving through mountains over time. Acting as if nothing bothers you means trusting the process. Understanding that every hammer strike, every bend in your path, is crafting a version of you that cannot be broken. So, stand in the forge, feel the heat, flow past the pain. You are being shaped for greatness. When an obstacle looms before you, threatening to derail your progress, don't react in haste. Pause. Breathe. Act as if nothing bothers you by taking control of your response. First, assess the situation with a clear mind. Grab a notebook and write down the problem in one sentence. I've lost a major client. Then, list 3 things you can control. Your next outreach, a new marketing idea, a skill to learn. This anchors you, turning chaos into a map. Next, set a small, immediate goal. If you're a business owner facing loss, commit to contacting 5 potential clients by day's end. If you're a creator stung by rejection, revise 1 page of your work tonight. Action, even small, keeps your current flowing. Finally, reflect at the end of each day. Ask yourself, what did I learn from this obstacle? Write 1 lesson. Maybe it's patience, resourcefulness, or the value of persistence. This practice transforms setbacks into stepping stones, ensuring you're never stuck, always moving. You are the river. Flow forward, 1 deliberate step at a time. Your mind is your greatest ally in flowing past obstacles, but it can also be a turbulent storm if left unchecked. To act as if nothing bothers you, build an inner dam, a barrier against doubt and despair. Start by creating a daily ritual of grounding. Each morning, spend 5 minutes in silence, visualizing yourself as a river, steady and unstoppable. Picture the obstacles ahead, deadlines, criticisms, failures, and see yourself gliding past them with ease. This mental rehearsal prepares you for real challenges. When a setback strikes, use a simple mantra to center yourself. This is temporary. I flow on. Repeat it until the initial wave of emotion subsides. Then, shift focus to gratitude. List 3 things you still have: health, a supportive friend, a past success. This dam of positivity holds back the flood of negativity, allowing you to adapt without drowning. Finally, limit overthinking by setting a time cap. 10 minutes to process the issue, then move to action. You don't linger on the rock in your path. You find the way around. Build this mental strength daily, and no obstacle will hold you long. As we close this chapter of your journey, remember the river's timeless lesson. Obstacles are not the end of your path. They are merely bends in your stream. You've walked with a small business owner who pivoted through financial ruin, and a writer who pressed on through rejection's sting. You've reflected on the wisdom of flowing past setbacks, of being forged by struggle into something unbreakable. And you've armed yourself with strategies, mapping your course, building your inner dam, to adapt and move forward without being derailed. The key takeaway is this: when you act as if nothing bothers you, you harness the power to transform every challenge into a current that carries you closer to your destiny. Let this truth anchor you as we prepare to dive deeper in the next stage of your transformation. For now, hold fast to the river's spirit. Let it guide you through the roughest terrain. You are not stopped by stones. You are shaped by them. Carry this resolve forward and let no setback dim your flow. Flow on. No obstacle can hold you. Picture a tree, ancient and unyielding, Standing tall on a windswept cliff, its branches sway in the howling gale. Yet it does not break. Beneath the surface, roots dig deep into turbulent soil, anchoring it against the chaos above. This is you. This is the strength you carry, unseen but unbreakable. When the storms of life rage around you, in a world that demands you bend, crumble, or react, you can choose to act as if nothing bothers you, not because you ignore the tempest, but because you are rooted in a power no wind can shake. Welcome to a journey of building inner resilience, of grounding yourself so fiercely that no external force can uproot your purpose. Feel the soil beneath you. Sense the stability within. Are you ready to stand firm, no matter the storm? In this chapter, Rooted in Unseen Strength, we dive into the heart of what it means to cultivate a course so steady that criticism, doubt, and chaos become mere breezes passing by. You'll walk with a community leader facing a tidal wave of backlash, and you'll stand beside an individual wrestling with self-doubt in the midst of life's upheaval. Through their stories, through timeless reflections, and through steps you can take today, you'll uncover the secret of enduring as if nothing bothers you. Let's plant our roots deep. Let's grow unshakable. Imagine you're a community leader, someone who has poured their heart into building a safe haven for others, a small neighborhood project to feed the hungry and shelter the lost. You've spent months rallying support, knocking on doors, and sacrificing sleepless nights. The vision burns in you like a flame. But then, the backlash comes. A public meeting turns hostile. Voices rise, accusing you of hidden agendas, of wasting resources, of failing before you've even begun. Social media erupts with harsh words, tearing at your intent. The weight of their judgment presses down, threatening to crush your spirit. You feel the sting. You want to shout back, to defend, to retreat, but you don't. You stand there, acting as if nothing bothers you. How? In that moment, you turn inward. You remember why you started, not for applause, but for the quiet knowing that even one life change is worth the fight. You recall the values etched into your soul: integrity, compassion, perseverance. These are your roots, unseen by the crowd, gripping deep into the turbulent soil of doubt and opposition. You breathe. You let their words pass like leaves in the wind. At the next meeting, you speak with calm resolve, addressing concerns without venom, staying true to your mission. Slowly, a few voices soften. Not all, but enough. You persist, not because the storm has ceased, but because your roots hold firm. The lesson here is clear. When the world lashes out, your strength isn't in reacting, it's in remembering. Your values are your anchor. Like the tree on the cliff, you don't need the wind's permission to stand. You draw from a source no one can see, and that unseen strength lets you act as if nothing bothers you. The takeaway echoes in your bones. Resilience isn't loud. It's the quiet certainty that your purpose outlasts any storm. Now, we'll picture yourself in the midst of a life transition. Perhaps you've lost a job, moved to a new city, or ended a chapter that once defined you. The ground beneath feels like quicksand, shifting with every step. Self-doubt creeps in, whispering that you're not enough, that you'll never find your footing again. Each morning, you wake to a hollow ache, questioning if you've made the right choices. The future looms like a fog, thick and unyielding. Yet in this uncertainty, you decide to act as if nothing bothers you. Not by pretending the fear isn't there, but by building a foundation no fog can obscure. You start small. You create a daily ritual, a simple act of grounding. Maybe it's brewing a cup of tea at dawn, letting the warmth steady your hands as you sip in silence. Maybe it's writing one sentence in a journal, naming a single thing you're grateful for. These aren't grand gestures, they're quiet roots, burrowing into the turbulent soil of your mind. Day by day, these rituals become your stability. When doubt surges, you return to your tea, your pen, your breath. You stand taller, not because the fog lifts, but because you've planted something unmovable within. Friends notice a change. How do you stay so calm, they ask. You smile. You act as if nothing bothers you, because you've learned that small, steady acts forge an inner strength no chaos can touch. The truth shines through. Resilience isn't born in dramatic moments. It's grown in the mundane, in the daily choice to root yourself deeper, like a tree weathering endless seasons. Your unseen strength, those quiet rituals, holds you firm. The takeaway resonates. Your grounding doesn't need to be seen to be felt. It's the silent power that lets you endure. Let's pause and look deeper. What does it mean to be rooted in unseen strength? Think of the tree again, its roots clawing into the earth, hidden from the gales above. The storm doesn't care about its struggle. It rages regardless. Yet the tree stands, not because it defies the wind, but because it has prepared for it long before the first gust. This is you. Inner resilience isn't a reaction. It's a foundation built in quiet moments, in times when no one watches. It's the values you've carved into your being, the rituals you've honored, the truths you've chosen to live by. When the world hurls its chaos, you don't waver, because your strength isn't on the surface. It's buried deep, untouchable. Consider this. How often do you seek validation from the outside? Praise, approval, or proof that you're on the right path? How many times have you let a harsh word or a fleeting failure uproot your sense of self? The truth is, external forces will always shift like sand in a desert storm. If your worth is tied to them, you'll be swept away. But when you root yourself in unseen strength, in your purpose, in your quiet convictions, you become a force no storm can fell. You act as if nothing bothers you, not because you're numb, but because you've built a core that no wind can shake. Reflect on this. What roots are you planting today that will hold you tomorrow? Let's go further. Resilience is often mistaken for hardness, a stone wall that repels every blow. But that's not the tree. That's not you. True strength is supple, bending without breaking, enduring without resisting. Imagine a river carving through a canyon, not by force, but by persistence. It doesn't fight the rock, it flows, day after day, until the stone yields. This is your unseen strength. When you act as if nothing bothers you, you're not building walls, you're forging channels, deep and steady, through which your purpose flows no matter the obstacle. Ask yourself, how many times have you mistaken endurance for aggression? How often have you fought the storm instead of letting it pass? The tree doesn't argue with the wind. It sways, rooted in a strength no one sees. So must you. Your resilience is a silent forge, shaping you through every trial, not by clashing with it, but by standing through it. Criticism, doubt, failure. These are not your enemies. They are the gales that test your roots, the fires that temper your steel. When you ground yourself in values, in rituals, in quiet knowing, you transform chaos into growth. You act unshaken, not because the world is kind, but because your strength is deeper than its reach. Let that truth anchor you. What are you forging in silence that will sustain you in the storm? Now let's turn thought into action. Building inner resilience starts with small, deliberate choices, roots you plant each day to ground you when the winds howl. Here's how to begin. First, identify one core value that defines who you are. Perhaps it's honesty, courage, or kindness. Write it down. Keep it where you'll see it daily. When doubt or criticism strikes, return to this value. Ask, does this align with who I am? Let it be your anchor, unseen but unyielding. Second, create a grounding ritual. It doesn't need to be grand. Spend 5 minutes each morning breathing deeply, feeling your feet on the earth, reminding yourself of your purpose, or carry a small object, a stone, a coin that symbolizes your strength. Touch it when chaos looms. These acts are your roots, burrowing into turbulent soil. They remind you to act as if nothing bothers you, not by ignoring pain, but by centering yourself beyond it. Finally, pause before reacting. When a harsh word or setback hits, count to 5. In those seconds, feel your roots. Choose your response from strength, not impulse. These steps aren't magic, they're soil. Work them daily, and you'll stand like the tree, unshaken by any gale. Start now. What value will you anchor in today? Let's build further. Resilience grows when you nurture your inner world, even when no one sees. Start by guarding your mental space. Each day, set aside 10 minutes to reflect. Ask, what challenged me today, and how did I stand through it? Write your answer. This isn't about venting, it's about witnessing your own strength. See how you endured. Let that fuel your resolve to act as if nothing bothers you. Next, limit the noise. External forces, gossip, comparison, endless news can uproot your peace. Choose one source of distraction to mute today. Maybe it's a social media app or a draining conversation. Replace it with stillness or a ritual that grounds you, like walking in nature or reading a line of wisdom. This isn't avoidance, it's protecting the soil where your strength grows. Lastly, celebrate small victories. Did you stay calm under pressure? Did you return to your ritual when doubt crept in? Acknowledge it. Whisper to yourself, I stood firm. These quiet affirmations are water to your roots, deepening your unseen strength. Resilience isn't a destination, it's a daily tending. Commit to these steps. Watch how they transform turbulence into stability. What will you nurture in your core today? As we close this chapter on Rooted in Unseen Strength, let the image of the tree linger in your mind. You've walked with a leader who faced backlash, yet stood firm through values. You've stood with someone in transition, finding stability in small rituals. You've reflected on the silent forge of endurance and the soil beneath the storm, and you've armed yourself with steps to plant and nurture your own roots. The takeaway burns bright. Resilience isn't loud. It's the quiet certainty that your purpose outlasts any storm. To act as if nothing bothers you is not to deny the wind, but to know your roots are deeper than its reach. You are stronger than you see, more grounded than you feel. Every value you honor, every ritual you keep, every pause you take, these are the unseen forces that make you unshakable. As we move forward, carry this truth into the next challenge, the next chapter of your journey. Let it prepare you for whatever storms lie ahead. Stand tall, dig deep. The soil of your strength is waiting. I am rooted. No storm can uproot me. Picture a still pond, its surface a mirror of glass, undisturbed even as a storm rages above. Lightning splits the sky, winds howl, and chaos reigns. Yet the pond reflects it all with unshakable calm. This is you, or who you can become, when you master the art of acting as if nothing bothers you. In the eye of life's tempest, you stand as a beacon of peace, not just for yourself, but for everyone who looks to you for strength. How often have you let the storms of doubt, fear, or frustration ripple through your soul? How many times have you reacted when you could have reflected? In this moment, we dive into the heart of transformation, becoming a source of calm amidst chaos, inspiring others through your unshakable presence. This is not about ignoring pain or suppressing emotion. It's about mastering them, about choosing serenity when the world demands panic. You are the still pond. Let's explore how to embody that peace, how to reflect chaos without being consumed by it, and how to guide others through the storms with the quiet power of your resolve. Imagine a bustling office on the brink of collapse. Deadlines loom like dark clouds. A major project has gone awry, and the team is fracturing under pressure. Voices rise, fingers point, and panic seeps into every corner. In the center of this chaos stands you, the manager, with a steady gaze and a voice that cuts through the noise like a lighthouse beam through fog. You don't shout, you don't falter. You act as if nothing bothers you. Not because you're immune to the crisis, but because you've forged an inner calm that no storm can shatter. You call a meeting, not to assign blame, but to map a path forward. We've hit a wall, you say, your tone even, but walls are meant to be climbed. Let's break this down together. Step by step, you guide your team through the rubble of the failed project, assigning tasks with clarity, listening to concerns with patience, and instilling a belief that failure is just a detour, not a dead end. As the hours pass, something shifts. The team feeds off your composure. Where there was chaos, there is now focus. Where there was despair, there is now determination. You've become the still pond reflecting their chaos, absorbing their fears without letting them ripple through you. Days later, when the project is salvaged and the deadline met, your team doesn't just thank you for the outcome, they thank you for the calm. They saw in you what they couldn't find in themselves, unshakable presence. And in that moment, you realize the lesson of the still pond. Chaos isn't your enemy, it's the mirror that shows your strength. By acting as if nothing bothers you, you didn't just save a project, you saved a team. You inspired through your serenity, proving that peace in the storm is a force more powerful than the storm itself. Now picture a quieter storm, one that brews not in boardrooms, but in the heart. A close friend calls you late at night, their voice trembling with the weight of their struggles. They've lost a job, or a relationship has crumbled, or they're grappling with a grief they can't name. The chaos of their world spills over the phone, raw and unrelenting. You listen, not with empty platitudes, but with a presence that feels like shelter. You act as if nothing bothers you, not because their pain doesn't touch you, but because you've walked through your own fires and learned to stand tall amidst the ashes. You share a piece of your own story, a time when the ground beneath you gave way, and how you rebuild, brick by brick, not by running from the pain, but by facing it with quiet resolve. You'll get through this, you tell them, your voice a steady current beneath their turbulent waves. Not because it's easy, but because you're stronger than you know. Take it one breath at a time. You don't solve their problems, you offer perspective, a mirror of calm that reflects their chaos without adding to it. Over the weeks, as they lean on your strength, you see them start to stand taller, to find their own footing. They tell you later, "I don't know how you stayed so calm. It gave me hope when I had none." And there it is again, the still pond. You've mirrored their storm, not by drowning in it, but by showing them that peace is possible even when the winds howl. The lesson shines clear. Your unshakable presence doesn't just heal you, it becomes a gift to others, a reminder that chaos passes, but calm endures. Pause for a moment and consider the nature of a still pond. It doesn't fight the storm above. It doesn't argue with the lightning or resist the wind. It simply exists, a silent witness to the chaos, reflecting every flash and shadow without losing its essence. This is the heart of acting as if nothing bothers you. It's not denial or detachment. It's a choice to anchor yourself in a deeper truth, that chaos is temporary, but your peace can be eternal. Think about the last time you were thrown into turmoil. Did you react with frenzy, letting the storm sweep you away? Or did you stand firm, reflecting the chaos without letting it define you? So often, we believe that strength means fighting every battle, shouting over every gale, but true strength is quieter. It's the ability to hold steady when everything around you trembles. Think of yourself as a mountain, unmoved by the winds that tear at its peaks. The storms come, the rains lash, but the mountain remains, a testament to resilience, a source of awe for those who seek shelter in its shadow. When you act as if nothing bothers you, you become that mountain, that still pond for others. Your calm isn't just a shield, it's a signal, a promise that there is another way to face life's tempests. Ask yourself, how many times have I let chaos dictate my actions? And how might my world change if I chose to reflect it instead? To stand as a source of peace for myself and those around me. The answer lies in your next choice, in the quiet power of your next breath. There is a profound alchemy in unshakable presence. When you stand calm amidst chaos, you don't just endure, you transform. You become a forge where fear is hammered into courage, where doubt is melted into resolve. But more than that, your presence becomes a light for others, a beacon that cuts through their darkness. Have you ever noticed how a single steady voice can silence a room of panic? How one person's calm can ripple outward, calming hearts and steadying hands? This is your power when you act as if nothing bothers you. You're not hiding from the storm. You're showing others that it can be faced without breaking. Imagine a ship caught in a squall, tossed by waves that threaten to swallow it whole. The captain doesn't scream or flail. They stand at the helm, eyes fixed on the horizon, hands steady on the wheel. The crew, seeing this, finds their own strength. They trust not just the captain's skill, but their calm. That's you in the chaos of life. Your unshakable presence doesn't just guide you through your storms, it becomes a compass for others. So, ask yourself, who in my life needs my calm right now? How can I reflect their chaos without being consumed by it? The truth is, your peace is not a solitary gift. It's a shared flame, warming everyone who draws near. When you embody the still pond, you don't just survive the storm, you inspire others to sail through it. Becoming a source of calm starts with a single, deliberate choice: to pause before you react. The next time chaos strikes, whether it's a heated argument, a work crisis, or an unexpected setback, stop. Take a deep breath, slow and steady, as if you're drawing strength from the earth itself. Feel your feet on the ground, your heart in your chest. Ask yourself, what does this moment need from me? Not what it demands, not what your first impulse screams, but what it truly needs. This pause is your first step to acting as if nothing bothers you. It's the moment you choose to reflect the chaos rather than absorb it. Then speak or act from that place of calm. If you're leading others, use a steady tone, even if your insides churn. If you're supporting a friend, listen more than you speak, letting your presence be their anchor. Write down one thing you can control in this situation, be it your word, your next step, or simply your breath, and focus on that. Every time you practice this, you build the muscle of unshakable presence. You become the still pond, not overnight, but ripple by ripple. Start small. The next time a minor frustration hits, a delayed email, a rude comment, pause, breathe, choose calm. Watch how that choice ripples outward, not just in you, but in everyone around you. Your calm is contagious, but only if you show it. To inspire others through unshakable presence, commit to visible serenity. When chaos erupts, let your actions speak. If you're in a tense meeting, sit tall, keep your voice even, and focus on solutions rather than complaints. If a loved one is spiraling, don't match their panic. Offer a quiet hand, a steady gaze, and words that ground them. Every gesture, every choice to remain composed, plants a seed of peace in those who witness it. Try this each morning. Set an intention to be a source of calm for one person. Maybe it's a coworker under stress, a child facing fear, or a stranger in a rush. Decide how you'll reflect their chaos through a kind word, a patient ear, or simply a smile that says, "I see you and I'm not shaken." At day's end, reflect on how your presence shifted their storm, even slightly. Keep a journal of these moments. Over time, you'll see how acting as if nothing bothers you doesn't just transform you. It transforms the world around you. Your peace becomes their permission to find their own. Be the still pond, not just in thought, but in every step you take. As we close this journey through reflecting peace amidst chaos, remember the still pond, its quiet surface mirroring the storm without breaking. You've seen how a manager can steer a team through crisis with steady confidence, how a friend can lift others with perspective born of personal trials. You've explored the philosophy of unshakable presence, the mountain unmoved by wind, the captain steady at the helm. and you've armed yourself with tools to cultivate calm and inspire through example. The key lesson shines like a beacon. Acting as if nothing bothers you isn't about ignoring the storm. It's about becoming a source of peace that others can lean on, a reflection of chaos that transforms it into strength. Your serenity is your power, not just to endure, but to uplift. As we move forward, carry this truth into the next challenge, the next storm. Let it shape how you stand, how you speak, how you inspire. The world needs your calm more than ever. Be the mirror that shows chaos its limits. Be the still pond, reflect the storm, and let peace prevail.